Hey there, it's your boy Foxy, back for more relationship stories. Update. Had a threesomething with FWB, now she wants a relationship while I don't. Original post. She 28 female, has been in a friends with benefits relationship with me 27 male for the past year. Recently she told me that one of her fantasies is to have a MFM threesomething, and after some deliberation I agreed. We did it around 2 weeks ago, and I thought that was it. But yesterday, my FWB really surprised me by saying that she wants an exclusive relationship with me. Now I will be honest. I had asked her once or twice to become my girlfriend in the past, but she said she isn't ready. Now she is ready, but how do I tell her that I literally saw her be intimate with someone else right in front of my eyes, and I am not likely to forget that. Yes, we were not exclusive, but feelings were there. And I was able to convince myself of the group activity only after telling myself that we will never actually be in a relationship. I would never agree to a threesomething with someone I am dating. But how do I tell her all this without coming across as hurtful? Now for the top advice before reading the update. I think it's time to move on, buddy. Just say as much, ultimately you will hurt her, but that's how rejection works, and there's no way really around it. By the way, don't mention the threesomething, that's just asking for trouble. So, do I just say I'm not ready for a relationship with her? What if she asks what changed? Probably not, because that would mean you would likely be open to it in the future, which sounds like it is not the case. I would be honest, but it's up to you. Being honest here would likely just cause more drama. I was interested in a relationship with you, but ever since you told me that you weren't, I worked on letting go of my desire for that relationship. The only reason I accepted to do the threesomething was that I had accepted we wouldn't ever be in a relationship together, and I would have never accepted it if I knew a relationship was possible otherwise. But since it happened, I'm no longer comfortable with pursuing any romantic relationship. You can't control how she feels, all you can do is be honest about your situation. Since emotions are getting messy on both ends, I think it's best to sunset this situationship and move on. Thank you for not posting a generic comment like, communicate with her, and actually helping OP with the words. I agree that most problems posted here could have been easily solved had OP communicated with their partner, but people here don't realize that conveying one's emotions in the right words is not everyone's cup of tea. So, thank you for actually helping. It's not hurtful. You can and should tell her exactly that this is the reason you cannot have a relationship with her other than FWB, that you made peace with you two not being together. It's also a major red flag that she wants that after the group activity for a multitude of reasons. I would advise you to just be honest. She used you in a way. I don't think now I can even be in an FWB with her. It's getting complicated, and we both will get hurt. In fact, I will not have an FWB from now on. And now for the update. So I told her what most of you guys suggested. That my desire for a serious relationship with her ended after she turned me down 2 times. She then asked me why was I saying that I would start a relationship with her in a heartbeat if she asked. So I lied and said I was joking. She also asked if the group activity had anything to do with my decision, and I said no, my decision was made long before that. I don't think she was convinced with my answer, but I stuck to it. She tried to argue that we will make a very good couple, but I just told her it's not a possibility. I also told her that we should put our friendship on hold for some time, till the feelings subside and we actually see each other as friends rather than possible romantic partners. It goes without saying that our FWB arrangement is done, and I have decided that FWB is not for me. I can't keep feelings separate from the intimate act, and it would only be harmful to me. Thank you to everyone who chimed in with advice. That's some very mature reflecting on your own feelings about intimacy. Best of luck to you, mate. Thank you, and the only reason I accepted the FWB was because I thought I could change her mind. Stupid, I know, but at the time, I really wanted to be in a relationship with her. Now I realize you can't make someone love you, it should be mutual. Ironically, I think it did change her mind, hence why she asked for a relationship after. But it also changed your mind too. I don't know, I think honesty here would have been best. You state elsewhere you think it would have been cruel. I disagree. It may have been a bit of a hard pill to swallow, but people don't grow if they don't have the truth. Nothing wrong was done per se, but I think it's fair to tell her you were interested, went along with the FWB because she wasn't interested in anything serious. However, due to the other guy involved, you can't see this turning into anything serious after the fact. That isn't cruelty, that's just honesty. It would absolutely be cruel and unnecessary. She seems to have enjoyed the group activity and felt closer to OP because of it. She shouldn't have to add OP's baggage onto her experience after the fact. It won't do her any good, it'll just make her afraid to try new things or pursue this same thing again. The issue with the group activity was more than him seeing another dude bang her. She turned him down for a relationship twice. Additionally, the timing is suspect. She waited till she got her fun before asking to settle down and go exclusive. Gosh, do you think he'd have agreed to it if they'd gone exclusive first? Nope. But she cozied up to the idea of exclusivity and thought she could game the relationship with one last fling before closing that door. Good for OP, hope it was worth it FWB. Sure, it could be that she turned him down twice, but I'm pretty sure also seeing another person sleep with your love interest is a potential relationship ender for a lot of people. For some, it's a hard ending, and for others it's a strong kink. Sounds like OP and his FWB were never as compatible as either of them thought. Now for the second story. Update. Our marriage has been horrible for the past year. Wife's sister recently moved in, we have a lot of fun together. And it made me realize how unhappy I am in my marriage, and I want a divorce. Original post. My wife 36 female and I 31 male have been married for 3 years. Our marriage has been horrible for me in the last year. My wife is always angry, negative, lazy, and blames everything that goes slightly wrong in her life on somebody else except herself. I'm a very outgoing and motivated person and like to go out a lot. My wife is less outgoing, but used to always try make an effort to go out together and have fun. For the past year, she hasn't done anything in our marriage. She is addicted to her phone and TikTok and barely pays attention when I'm talking or we are doing something. We barely go out anymore, and if we do, she always finds something to get angry at, like a waiter taking a little too long. When we are out eating, she is on her phone watching TikToks and barely communicating with me. She always wakes up moody and angry and destroys the whole vibe. She curses in every other sentence she says, and huffs and puffs if she has to do something that normal grown adults have to. We have also not been intimate for the past 6 months, and it doesn't look like something is going to change. I always tell her how much I appreciate her and that I love her and try to do things together. But she always shuts me down when I suggest doing something because she is tired, but then proceeds to watch Netflix until 2 in the morning. She never even shows any affection or appreciation towards me. For the past year I have tried to communicate to her that something needs to change in our marriage, but she just gets angry and avoids the conversation instead of talking. It has gotten to the point that I have stopped caring about our marriage and have just been going along and focusing on my personal life and goals. My wife's sister Lisa has recently gotten out of a long-term relationship and has moved in with us temporarily. Lisa is the complete opposite of my wife. She is happy, vibrant, talks and just fun to be around. Ever since she moved in, we have been spending a lot of time together because my wife doesn't do anything else than watch Netflix and talking to her friends on FaceTime when she is home. On the rare occasions she is not doing one of these things, she is out with her friends. Lisa is a very active person, so we do a lot of activities together. She joins me when I go to the park to get some fresh air, she helps me cook when I'm preparing dinner, and even works out with me in my home gym. I always try to get my wife to tag along with us, but she never does. Spending all this time with Lisa has totally changed my mood. Being around a person that is positive and doesn't complain about every single thing in their life is so refreshing and fun. But don't get the wrong idea, we have never done anything inappropriate, we have just become really good friends that lift each other up. The past couple of months since Lisa moved in have made me realize how unhappy I'm in my marriage. Having someone around you that is constantly complaining, cursing, and angry drains every bit of energy you have. It's depressing, and that's not how I want my life to be. I want to be with someone positive who shows that they care about me and want to have new experiences together with me. I have tried so hard for the past year to make my marriage work with my wife, but I just get shut down. I don't feel loved anymore and appreciated, and I don't want to be in this position anymore. I want a divorce so I can move on with my life and find someone who actually loves me and cares for me. I have officially checked out of my marriage and don't want to turn back anymore. I'm just not completely sure how I should go about the situation now. I know for a fact that I'm going to get trashed by friends and her family for leaving my wife, and that I'm somehow going to come out as the bad guy. I want this process to be as clean as possible, but I'm not sure how. Now for the top advice before reading the update. The way she is behaving may be indications of her resorting to escapism due to diminishing mental well-being. Perhaps you and her sister can compose an action plan to approach her gently so she can seek professional help. Remember, your feelings are completely valid. When someone you love experiences mental health issues, it usually drags you down too. So, please consider taking up individual therapy too, and perhaps couple therapy sometime too. I know for a fact that I'm going to get trashed by friends and her family for leaving my wife, and that I'm somehow going to come out as the bad guy. Other people aren't living your life. Don't concern yourself with what they'll think or do. I want this process to be as clean as possible, but I'm not sure how. Except it will probably get messy. Life does. You won't just shake hands and part ways. There will be tears and heartache. Don't pursue her sister even after your divorce. Just move on. I guess I'm going to have to prepare myself for a rough time and be prepared to lose some friends. And don't forget the advice about not pursuing the sister. Never, ever, ever. Get divorced, but don't pursue the sister. That's a disaster waiting to happen. I don't want to pursue the sister, I just want to get out of my marriage as clean as possible. Contact a divorce lawyer. Don't make any promises or move out or anything before you talk to someone. There's never a clean way to divorce someone who's already angry and bitter. The best you can do is make sure you're protecting yourself legally and try to remain calm if and when she freaks out. And now for the update. My first post got a lot of traction. I appreciate all the supportive messages I have gotten, and especially all the people sharing their own experience. You definitely helped me to get some perspective in the matter. The past couple of days I have been able to clear my head about my marriage. I realized that this is not how I want to spend the rest of my life. I want to be with someone who cares about me and loves me. She clearly doesn't. I want to be with someone who respects me enough to put her phone down when we are having dinner and I'm trying to talk to her and isn't ignoring me to watch TikToks. But I'm done trying and getting nothing in return. I am done giving it my all and getting nothing back. I have been trying to communicate and make things better for a whole year and have been completely neglected. I still have love for my wife, but I'm not in love with her anymore. I want to move on with my life and find the right one for me and lead a happy life. I have already been in contact with my divorce attorney and am getting the process started. I turned 32 2 days ago, and my wife didn't even acknowledge my existence. Instead, she went out with her friends that night. Even her sister remembered my birthday and got me a present. She was even shocked that my wife ignored my birthday like this. We ended up having dinner together at a restaurant, and she even paid for the both of us. I didn't even feel the need to mention my birthday to my wife, because I knew that at this point she didn't really care. This really made me lock my decision. I don't care if she is depressed or not, if she doesn't even care enough about me to remember and acknowledge my birthday and would rather go out with her friends, I don't want to be with her. People kept saying that we should go to counseling and therapy to patch things out. For the past year, I have been trying to get my wife to couples therapy with me, but she just refuses and gets angry with me as always. I have tried everything I could have thought of to make my marriage work, but she pretty much shuts down everything I try. I've tried so hard to make my marriage work and put in so much effort, but now I have had enough of it. A lot of people tried to diagnose my wife with depression in my previous post, but I'm not a medical professional, so I can only talk from my perspective. To me, it seemed like she was living her own life without me, and that she would get frustrated with everything I got involved in. I'm not going to say if she has or doesn't have depression. That's not for me to determine. Whether she has it or not, I don't find that a valid excuse to treat me the way she has been for the past year. She didn't even have the respect to communicate and talk to me like a decent human being, instead of being on her phone or ignoring me. If she has depression, she'll have to figure that out on her own without me. A lot of people were also suggesting that I just want a divorce to get with her sister. That's not true. I want a divorce so I can get myself out of this miserable marriage, and so I can move on with my life. I have no plan pursuing her sister. I'm getting this divorce for my own well-being. Lisa said that she finds the divorce unfortunate, but that she supports my decision. She even suggested that we stay friends after because we get along great. When I told her that I was divorcing her, some little bit in me hoped she would realize what has been happening in the past year and try to apologize and make things good again or something. Instead, she started getting angry with me and started yelling at me. As always, instead of taking responsibility, she started blaming me. At this point, I stopped caring and didn't respond to all her yelling. I told her that my decision was final. I also suggested her to see a medical professional to figure her possible depression out, but what she does with that advice is really none of my concern. Lisa knew something was up and tried to talk with my wife about what was going on, but pretty much got dismissed and yelled at for getting her nose in our business. For now, I'll be sleeping on the couch and living my own life. Lisa informed me that she is moving out and was able to find a place, so I'll be taking the guest bedroom when she gets out. I'm in the middle of trying to figure things out with my lawyer, and hopefully we will be able to move fast in this divorce, but probably not. I'm mentally preparing myself for everything that will happen to me socially, and I accept that. I just want this to be over so I can move on with my life. OP, do not be at all surprised when your wife suddenly announces that she has a new boyfriend. All of her actions towards you points to her having found someone else. The way she treats you, the way she apportions blame, the dead bedroom, and the lack of respect towards you, all of it are indicators of an affair. Good luck with the divorce, and I hope that you can just amicably walk away and into a better life. It does read like an affair, but the fact that she's mad about the divorce, as opposed to happy or okay with it, personally points to it being an affair with someone that doesn't want an actual relationship with her. If she was having an affair with a single person, this basically frees her up. If she's having an affair with someone that actually doesn't want to be in a real relationship with her and she's single, that's a hit to the ego. At this point, I don't care what she might have been doing behind my back, I just want to get this over with, as quick and clean as possible. I believe him that he's not romantically interested in the sister, but he's discovered that it's nice to live with a pleasant person. Being appreciated is underappreciated. Depression can explain behavior, but never excuses it. Divorce is the correct choice. You can't make someone happy that doesn't want to be happy. And I've suffered from depression for years, and while yes, I'm more angry and disconnected, I'm also always very concerned about my husband as he's been my anchor in the worst depression. So I totally agree that it might explain a bunch of what's going in and the fact that she changed, but it didn't excuse her choices at all.